Well, folks, it looks like AMD is back at it again. Remember when FSR4 were first introduced, how everyone was worried about availability of games that support it? Well, it looks like AMD is cranking it up a notch. Let's get into this. Hi everyone's by Lot Tech back again with some more tech news on this beautiful hump day of the week. Now the week just started and we already got some juicy tech reviews or tech leaks coming out on particular articles all across the web. And this time around, the first one to grab it was videocards.net. You know, a while back when FSR4 was first released FSR4 was first announced for AMD on their GPUs, and how they said that pretty much only the 9000 series are going to have it stock and it's not going to be backwards compatible. Well, that's still the case, but one of the bigger things that people were worried about was the fact that game compatibility upon FSR4 release. Now, they're worried about the amount of games that could support FSR4, just how when DLSS4 on NVIDIA's side, a lot of people were worried about that too upon release. And now it looks like AMD heard or is taking the feedback for FSR4, and they're cranking up the amount of games supported up a notch. So now, initially, they had roughly like 20 or 30 games that were supposed to be already preset and ready to work with FSR4. Now, they almost triple that now in this latest article on videocards.net. So now there's up to 65 games now supported FSR4, and a lot of the games, at least a good chunk of them, like 50 to 60% of the games, are more recent games that came out like either within the last 2 or 3 years, especially some fan favorites like Marvel Rivals and some others that worth mentioning. So AMD decided, I guess they heard everyone that was complaining about the lack of support for games, and they say, you know what, sure, y'all all right, so let's crank it up and increase this, expand the amount of games it supports. So now, I think it's going to roll out, if it didn't roll out already, is rolling on the Amd software package version 25.1.6, something along those lines. I can't remember exact version number for Amd software update, but I'll have the article below so you can see the mass of games that it increased to now that supports FSR4. I'm also going to have them on the screen here as I talk to you. If you don't want to go through the article is not too long, but it's a lot of words and stuff they're saying in there, along with some other stuff, information they're introducing, but it's mainly based on FSR4. But it's good news because, especially for those who were lucky enough to get the 9070 series or 9070 XT series upon the release, or upon recent times when the stock started stabilizing for the video cards y'all wanted, is really good news because a lot of the newer games that people were dying to play once they got their 9000 series GPU for AMD, they were dying to have FSR4 because they saw how good it was compared to the DLSS4. So everyone was always hungry for a competitor to DLSS4 from NVIDIA's side, and AMD is coming in swinging by expanding their game catalog for support up to 65. So this is big news for those who already were lucky enough to get a 9000 series video cards. I unfortunately still have not been lucky enough yet because stock for the 1-in-1 is ridiculous, and it never likes to stay in stock. And when I do get it in stock, it's like less than 10. So I decided to stop looking, and just whenever I get it is whenever I get it. But anyway, back on topic. So this is good news, especially for some of the things that I had on my back catalog, especially on my Steam library. There are a lot of games that I add to my wish list that I want to take a crack at, that were on the list of the newly supported FSR4 games. So whenever I get my system started out again, I will probably test out some of the things I have in my wish list with the FSR4 to see how they run, if they run smooth, if they run janky. It's probably like an early release, or beta release is what you call it. But I have confidence that AMD has it, for the most part, all the bugs fixed out for FSR4. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt whenever I get to play any of the games in my wish list right now that is in my backlog. But y'all let me know in the comments below if this is good news for you guys. Did y'all have your eyes on some games that you want FSR4 on? If you do, are you happy that AMD is finally releasing the support for that game in question that you wanted to play for the longest time since you got your new upgrade or new video card? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this, and if you're happy that the game catalog for FSR4 support is really expanded. Until then, this is your boy LockTech signing out.